Hey friend, welcome to the podcast. This episode is a bonus episode and the next two episodes are as well. Harmony Doors, which is the membership site I created for elementary music teachers, is open right now. The doors close tomorrow, January 4th at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central Time. So I would hate for you to miss out on joining. And what I'm going to do in these next 3 episodes is share the Facebook Lives I did right inside of my elementary music teacher community Facebook group with you so you can get some common questions answered about harmony. I talk about some mindset things like how to decide if this is the right fit for you or not. And then also I go further behind the scenes and answer a lot of questions that have come in or that previous members had before joining us in Harmony. So what you can do if you would like to see the behind the scenes videos that you hear me explaining right here in these podcast episodes is you can just request to join the free Facebook group, the Elementary Music Teacher Community. There is a link to join that group right here in the show notes, and the link to join us in Harmony is right there as well. I realize that a lot of times when I share Facebook Lives, there's good content there. And so I wanted to share the audio right here on the podcast for those of you who A, either are not in the group, B, you love to listen to things and consume content that way instead of watching content, or C, maybe you're just curious about harmony and this will be able to help you get your questions answered. So I'm here to answer any questions you have. Before the doors close tomorrow, send me an email at jessica@thedomesticmusician.com, and let's jump right in with the next 3 episodes about harmony. A lot of you are finding yourselves back at school today. Okay, sweet. And if you're at school right now, I want you to know that I am cheering you on. I see you. I know the feelings you're feeling. I should have taken a drink before I went live. And I know I'm a couple minutes late, so sorry about that. But, and if you're watching the replay, it won't matter that I'm late because you're watching the replay. But I know that going back to school, there's a mixed bag of emotions. I actually posted something in my Harmony Facebook group about that today. There's the excitement of going back. You miss your students. You're looking forward to maybe putting on some performances, programs coming up, some new units you're teaching. Maybe you have some new ideas you're excited to implement with your students. Maybe you are, just looking forward to something going on. Insert whatever it is. That goes back to what we talked about in the Reflect and Renew Challenge, looking ahead, right? What are you looking ahead to? But I also know in the emotions, there are feelings of overwhelm, feelings of not ready to go back, feelings of I'm sick of teaching with a mask on, feelings of pandemic numbers are picking up, feelings of I love teaching music, but these last couple of years have burnt me out. So whatever feelings, whether you're going back to school today, tomorrow, Wednesday, whenever it is, I want to, first of all, before I talk about anything else today, validate your emotions and feelings that are 100% real. You're going to have a mixture of emotions from excitement to nervousness to not ready to whatever else. And I want you to know that the first thing I want to say today is I'm just so blessed by you. I mean that 100%. Because you're in there doing the hard work every day. You are in your classroom setting, whatever it looks like for your unique situation, and you're teaching music to your students. You're teaching music to the students who don't feel like being there. You're teaching music to students who maybe haven't had music before, like the situation I found myself in. You're teaching music to students who where you're still trying to find the best way they learn and the best way you teach. And it's just it's a difficult sometimes thing to figure out where your teaching style merges with the way your students learn. So I just wanted to start out by saying I'm very well aware that a lot of you are going back today, tomorrow, where we live. Our district is going back Wednesday, whenever it is for you. And I know that although we did the Reflect and Renew Challenge, I want you to know, I know that's not just a quick fix. It's like you went through a 3-day challenge, you watched the Facebook Lives, you read the emails, you posted some things in a group. I know that's not all that it's about. It's not just about sharing your struggles and wins, because let's be honest, as you enter this new school year, the rest of the school year, I should say, or maybe a new school year for some of you, if you find yourself in a new position that's starting in the middle of the school year, you will face some new challenges that you're not even aware of yet. You're not even aware of certain things that may come up. For example, one of my good friends teaches in South Carolina, and she went back today, and a tree had fallen on her school, and they have no electricity. Day one, back to school. Like, it's unexpected. Now, that's, of course, not going to happen to everybody, but unexpected things happen all the time, whether it's weather related, pandemic related. That's still unexpected, because as we think things are getting better, as you're well aware, like, it's still not done. You're very aware of that. I understand that. But unexpected things with students moving in, moving out, changing classes, new teachers to your building that you have to get to know again, your programs you've scheduled on the calendar get moved, or whatever. There's going to be all these new things that are thrown at you that you don't see until you're back to school, right? So when those hard days come, and they will, I want you to go back to what we talked about, whether you participated in the challenge or not. I want you to hear what I'm about to say. When those hard days, weeks, months come, I want you to remember your why. And I know that's easier said than done. You're like, I know my why. I'm teaching music. But yes, but what is your why? What is your reasoning behind that? Why are you waking up, even though it's been extremely hard to teach music to kids, when you could do literally anything else you wanted? What's your why behind that? Let that drive you. Let that be the driving force behind why you are showing up and teaching music to your students, okay? And then also honor yourself. Like, listen to what your body, your mind, your physical body, mental body, spiritual body, what do you need? Listen to yourself. If you're feeling that overwhelm build up, and you're feeling anxious, take a mental health day. And I know the next question out of your mouth, because these are the same thoughts I always had, but what if I can't find a sub? What if they're struggling to find someone to fill my classes? Then they struggle to find someone to fill your classes that day, to cover your classes, I should say. Because sometimes you have to take care of you. Okay? And that's okay. It's okay to take care of you. I had a principal who told me before, when I needed a personal day, and here's the ironic thing, the district I taught in, you were allowed sick days, but if you took a personal day, you did not get paid for those. We did not have that built into my pay for some reason. So you had to kind of do the workaround, and if you needed a personal day, use a sick day to do that. Because, to be honest, a personal day sometimes, if you need a mental health day and you need a break, and I don't even know where this is coming from, I just felt like I wanted to share this. It was on my heart. If you feel like this school year, as you go back the rest of the school year, and you have days where you're just like, I just can't handle going back tomorrow, and then take a sick day. If you find yourself like I am, and you're not given personal days, or you're not paid for it, okay? So I wanted to start by saying that, to listen to what you're needing emotionally, mentally, physically, as you go back to school. You're going to have those hard weeks. Like, let's be honest, this week going back may be really hard. It might just be hard for you to get your mind back into teaching after being on break. It might be because you were so burnt out by December that you're just like, I miss teaching, I miss my students, I'm not even ready to go back. It might be you're feeling the feelings of not having your lesson plans completely ready to go. And let me tell you, nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody does. I provide lesson plans on my membership site, but I can still tell you, nobody ever has anything completely ready to go. And it's okay. All right? So I wanted to start by saying that. Today, we are going to talk about mindset blocks around joining Harmony. Now, this is for those of you watching, if this is the first Facebook Live you watched in here, maybe this is the 100th, I don't care what it is, whatever it is for you. Harmony is the membership site I created 2.5 years ago for elementary music teachers. It is going strong, it's awesome, and I'm not just saying it's the best community out there because I created it, I really mean that. The music teachers in there are incredible, supportive group of teachers who are just doing incredible work. And what's really neat is I started this membership site 9 or 10 months before COVID hit. So I had everything in there created and ready to go. I had all the lesson plans done. Well, not all of them. I slowly was creating them as I dripped them out every month. Now they're all done. But I had, a vision for how I wanted the membership site to go. And so I had it all created for in-person teachers. Well, none of us saw coming, of course, was a pandemic. So when COVID hit, I went back through and added in every single lesson plan pack teaching virtually and teaching on a card ideas. We pivoted conversations around teaching during a pandemic. Just some things changed in the membership site, because here's my heart is, this is never about me. It never will be about me. This is completely about you as a music teacher. So inside the membership site, I am constantly sending out polls and surveys about, what do you need? What am I not providing? What are you confused about? What could I make a little bit better? So I am constantly in there changing things around based on what you're needing in your teaching situation. So I first of all wanted to start off by saying that. So let's talk about some of the mindset blocks that maybe have come up for you. And these are the exact things that come up for me when I'm deciding whether I want to pay for something. So a couple years ago, I paid for a $2,000 business course to teach me the skills I needed to run my own online business, things I didn't know about. And yes, I had read blog posts. I had listened to a ton of business podcasts. I had conversations with some friends who were fellow entrepreneurs. And although I got great advice, it wasn't until I invested in that course, and I'm not telling you to spend that much money, okay, but it wasn't until I invested in that really, really expensive course that I couldn't even afford, where I got the skills I needed, and I learned, and I met other people who I still have relationships with today. Then I paid for like, I'm in a membership site right now for membership site owners to help me continue. I get ideas in there all the time. Did I get free value from reading blog posts? Yes, I'm in a Facebook group for membership site owners. That's a free group. I listen to podcasts. I had created one before I ever joined this course, but when I did that, that's when my membership site kind of came together in a way that made sense. It's just like I got the help I needed. I'm also right now investing in grad school. Some of you in here have gotten your master's degrees, or you have gotten a PhD, and kudos to you for that. My gosh. And I'm investing in myself to learn things that I know I need to continue not only running a business, but also to serve music educators, because technology is a huge part of what you do now, not just when you taught virtually or are still teaching virtually or may pivot back to virtual teaching, but also integrating technology into what you do every day. I think it's a huge part of the way education is going. And so I'm getting my master's right now in educational technology. I'm investing in that every semester, and every time I have to pay that amount, it's like, other things you may invest in. Think about how much you spend on Teachers Pay Teachers. You may have bought a lesson plan. You may have bought a whole bundle of whatever, which is amazing. Oh my gosh, the resources on Teachers Pay Teachers, I'm blown away. There's so much creativity and things that I cannot do. That I think it's awesome. Maybe you've also invested in some professional development, whether online or in person, some trainings, some levels courses. These are things you've invested in. What do you invest in money wise in your life, like in the personal side of things? I'm thinking about not just bills, but yeah, that's unfortunately right. We have to live. Let me make sure you can still hear me, by the way. I'm paranoid after. Okay, sweet. One of my Facebook lives, I was live for like a lot of minutes, and then it was a robot the whole time. Anyways, I know for me, like the things I'm thinking about we invest in, I'm talking about my husband and I, we sometimes will invest in our own stuff, but also we are in agreement in things we pay for. So right now, I pay for this is going to sound really cheesy, but the trampoline park it's right by my house. I took my kids so many times. We haven't taken them as many times as we want lately because it's been super crowded and germs, but I decided to invest in a membership site for them. It's $50 a month, and every time it comes out, I'm like, ugh. But the cool thing is about being able to go unlimited amount of times. That's what kind of motivated me to do that. So that's what I invest in. I mentioned yesterday we invest in Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. Thought about cutting one of those out. Oh, I also invest in Sling because I love my Arkansas Razorbacks, if you do not know that. So that's the way I get to watch basketball and football games. And so it's worth it to me because we do not have cable. And so we invest in some, it sounds like all we do is sit around here and watch TV. We really don't. That's what's funny. But we invest in those things because we decided, you know what, we want to use some of our money to like invest in, if we want to watch something, there it is. And so there's several other things I could list that we have invested in, whether it is a membership site, like an ongoing payment. Those are some of the examples I just gave, or like some one-off things. I just actually bought my husband a membership to this local photography, what do you call it? Like a group, I guess. Basically, it's called the Northwest Arkansas Photographer Society or something like that. Basically, what they do is they go on different excursions. He loves taking pictures, and I have tried to convince him to turn it into a like take photography, like photograph things for money, but he doesn't want to. He just wants it to be a hobby, which is totally fine. So I invested in this for him where they go on different excursions. They have different speakers come and talk. They have, I don't know what else, like online trainings and things. But I knew it was worth it to invest in that for him. That was one of his Christmas presents because he loves it. Could he go and has he? He's read so many photography articles. But what sets the paid membership apart from the free stuff is he's going to have a community of other people, like-minded people, where he can ask questions to, he can meet and share ideas with and things like that. So I think having free and paid is a great combo. That's why I provide free value on my podcast. I provide free value in this Facebook group. I provide free value on my blog. I provide free value I provide several different downloads, whether it's PDFs or the free challenge I put on my website. You can find those things. I provide free value on other people's podcasts I've been interviewed on. I've presented at different summits that were paid or pay as you want, like the F-Flat Summit they did last year. So I provide free value in a lot of different ways because I completely understand that sometimes you're just not ready to invest financially in something else. I get it. And there's so many, when I started my membership site 2.5 years ago, yes, there were online curriculums. Yes, there were, actually found out about a couple other music education membership sites where I'm actually friends with those people. And ironically, when I took that, it was called the Tribe course, with Stu McLaren, if you're not familiar with him. And when I joined that course to help me learn how to build a membership site, I'm not going to name their names, but two really big online music education people who have blogs and podcasts as well were in there too. And none of us knew each other were in there, but not one time did I view it as, oh my gosh, this isn't, I'm not going to develop my membership site because these people are in there. I never viewed it as competition. I've sent people certain ways. If I see you're needing something, I'm like, ooh, you need to go and take this course with this person. Or this membership site would help you because she provides this and I don't. Or I'm always sending people different ways because I completely think everybody in the music education field, even those of you watching who put work into the world, I know a lot of you are putting your work on Teachers Pay Teachers, and that's amazing. But not one time did you go, oh, someone else put a lesson plan, so I'm not going to do that. Someone else put a resource, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm kind of getting into some business coaching. This is a lot of what I coach some of my business coaching clients in as well. Like what differentiates you and sets you apart is a huge part of putting your work into the world and showing up as you. So what I'm trying to get at is that's exactly what I've always felt is when I created Harmony, I never did it with the intention of being the only one source that you need for music education. Could it be? 1,000%. You have lesson plans in there for the entire school year where you don't even have to plan a thing. It's already done for you if you would like to. The support in there is unlike anything else. Does it mean though that there is no other advice out there you need? No. I listen to other music education podcasts all the time. I wouldn't say every day. I almost said every day, but that's not true because I don't even listen to podcasts every day, even though I'm a podcaster. I will sometimes, if I'm looking for something or I get asked a question and I don't know the answer, I go searching on Google just like you do. I think I'm in a lot of other Facebook groups that you're in as well. So if you see me in there, say hi, because I think that all of that is needed. I think that the many different whether it's groups or Instagram accounts or membership sites, podcasts, blogs, I think having a variety is a great idea. So that goes to my first question. My first thing I wanted to talk about is it's like, but what, I don't know if I need something else. I don't know if I already have all these other things. Why do I need what you're offering? Well, if you've resonated with anything I've said during the challenge, or if you've been in this group for any amount of time, or maybe you've been on my wait list, Harmony, once the doors close, a wait list page turns on, and maybe you've been on that wait list and you've kind of been on the fence for a while. Well, why? Why? Maybe you've thought about joining, but you've been stuck for whatever reason. Is maybe the first mindset block because you're thinking, well, I'm already in other things, so I don't know if I need one more thing. And if so, that's okay. I really 100% never want to be pushy or like a used car salesman, because I know you're an educated adult and I want you to make the best decision for you. But what I can say is I have several members in this membership site who I know are currently in because they've told me. And there's one who's in 3 different music education membership sites. And I asked her before, I'm like, what's the benefit of being in all 3 of them? She said, because I get something different from each one. So what I'm trying to get at is it's okay if you're already in other stuff. Don't let that stop you and be like, well, I can't do Harmony too. You could. You can, yes, because like I said, I'm not marketing this or trying to talk about this as the one thing you need. I think that you have a toolkit of things you can pull from as a music teacher, and Harmony is definitely going to help you. Has been created to help you beat the overwhelm and not cause more, not to give you way extra things to do. I'm not every week giving you 10 hours of things you need to complete. Not at all. Okay. And if you go back and watch the video from yesterday and one I did in here on Friday, the Facebook Lives, I took you behind the scenes and kind of showed you what's in Harmony. So go and watch those if you didn't get a chance, because you'll see like, oh, okay, I see the way she's laid this out a little bit. I can see how this would align with me and how I'd be able to pull out what I need while I'm also in this other thing, this other course, or this other training, this levels course, whatever it might be. Okay. So maybe that was your first thought. It's like, I'm already in so much. I don't know if I need one more thing. The other question, the other thing I want to say around that actually is what I was going to say is the fact that Harmony is a membership site. So what is cool about that is you can leave anytime you feel like it is not either you feel like the timing is too much. Oh, sorry. I was reading a text. I got distracted. Squirrel. Maybe you feel like the timing is not right is what I meant. Maybe you feel like you are already overwhelmed. And what I want to say around that, if you're feeling like I'm already overwhelmed, I don't want one more thing. Harmony was created to help you beat the overwhelm, not cause more, not to be one more thing to do, one more thing to keep up with. But I've had a lot of members who are in here who've taken other courses or currently in other courses in other membership sites, listen to other podcasts or in other whatever, insert the blanks. And they say Harmony still feels like their home base. It's the first place they come. I actually had a member, Joe Tagnipes, and if you're in here, Joe, hi. He said before to me that if he had found Harmony before he had enrolled in other things, or those magazines you get sent to your school, or the different resources you get sent all the time to try us out for free, he said if he had found Harmony before those other things, he would have just enrolled in Harmony. He wasn't just saying that to me to like feed my ego or to be like, thank you so much for this. It was honestly, that's exactly what he said is what he meant, because it's hard to explain what your experience will be like as a member until you just try it out and see if it's the right fit. If it's not, it's fine. I'm not going to hold you and be like, you only stayed a month. No, that's not my intention. I created this for who needs it the most. Okay. But you may find yourself in that situation. I know I had another member, his name was Dylan, and he said when he joined Harmony, he said that he didn't realize from listening to me talk, I can show you behind the scenes. I can talk about it. I can send you emails. I can discuss why I created the membership site. But it's honestly one of those things where once you get in there and log in, you don't really see the benefits until you start kind of digging in there and doing the work and things like that. So Dylan told me before, he said, I really didn't realize that when you said lesson plan packs, he goes, I did not realize that it was this extensive. in a good way. And that's my thing, is like, I just want you, if you feel like you've kind of been on the fence or you want to try it, then come in and try it. Okay. So maybe your thought is that you don't really know if Harmony is going to help you. Maybe you're like, I've tried other things. I'm still overwhelmed. I have been in a different membership site. Maybe that's what your thought is. And I still feel like I'm still in the same place I was in. And what I can say to that is, and this is going to sound very generic, but you don't really know if it's going to help you unless you just try, right? It's hard sometimes to take that step. It's hard. I know it's hard to pay for something if you don't know if it's like too good to be true. If it's like, is she just giving us lip service and telling us words, or is this really honestly going to help me? And what I can say to that is, what sets Harmony apart from others, and I have not dug in and been in, my cord keeps getting stuck on my chair. I have not dug in and gotten into other membership sites. I know of them, but I know when I created Harmony, that's why I started with what's called a success path on purpose. When you join, you start in the Start Here section, and immediately I tell you to identify where you are on what's called a success path, because I want you to know where you're at. I want to know how I can best support you. I want to provide the member calls, accountability groups, and mentorship. I do know there are membership sites out there, which they're amazing. I've seen them all and they're all needed. But a lot of them just provide lesson plans or just provide resources where you don't get the support. And I've had members say that's their favorite part, is the support they get. The constantly me wondering what else I can do to support you and how I can meet what you're needing. And so if your thought is you don't know if Harmony is going to help you, all I can say to that is, first of all, ask me any questions you have. I'm an open book. I will tell you honestly if this is the right fit, or if I can kind of hear you and hear what you're needing. And I'll say, actually, maybe not right now, or wait till the summer. I'm never going to tell you to join just because. Okay. I promise you, I will let you know if I think it's not the right time for you too. But Harmony, what I can say is, if you're asking, is this going to help me? It will help you if you put the work in. It's not just like, I'm providing things and it's just going to be the magic fix. You get out of it what you put in. And I know you're pressed for time already. I know you're busy. I know you have 100 things on your plate. I really do. So when I say put the work in to the membership site, it's download the lesson plans and actually look through them. Sometimes the questions I get asked by members, if they're already been answered in the membership site, they've already been answered right there on the Start Here section. So that's why I keep sending you back to that page over and over. But you have to be willing to do the work. If you're still struggling with overwhelm, but you haven't come to a single member call, or and I get it, you can't make everyone. Hello. One of my sons has basketball practice 2 times a week. We have church stuff on Wednesday nights. I think there's one night out of the week that I don't have something going on. Trust me, I get it. My days are full. I'm developing curriculum for 2 different websites right now, plus my podcast, plus Harmony, plus. I get the busyness. Trust me. But make an effort to attend one member call. If I, give you the opportunity to join an accountability group, if you see your group is emailing each other, respond, even with just a simple email. That's all the time you have to do. And that's why I only say, like, meet with your accountability group 1 time a month. Okay, so it's not me saying every day meet with each other. No, that's not it at all, because I know what a teacher's life is like. I get it. And so when I say you got to be willing to put in the work, is be willing to show up the way you want the membership site to show up for you. And if you do that, you will get a benefit from it. I promise. All right. And then I do want to say 95% of members have been with me for a while. And I've honestly seen, and I don't know the percentage off the top of my head, but I've seen a lot of members who do cancel their membership for whatever reason. And I can tell you, when I have asked them why they've left Harmony, 9 times out of 10, honestly, I think I've had one person who didn't say something like this. But the other 9 out of 10 will usually say something to me like, I've switched to a new position. I'm not teaching elementary music anymore. Or I lost my job. That a lot of music teachers found themselves in that situation the last 2 years. Or something like, it's just, I need to take a break from this right now, or whatever. But here's the thing too. I've seen a lot of members return later on. And so that's what I want to say too. If you join Harmony and you get what you need out of it, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to take a break, come back and join us when the time's right. Like the doors for you will always be open when they're open, of course. But okay. So let's talk about, we talked about the being pressed for time thing. And if you listen to the Elementary Music Teacher podcast, go all the way back to episodes 106 and 107. 5 Harmony members talk about their experience in Harmony. This is their words. I did not put any words in their mouth. I submitted questions to them ahead of time so they could be thinking about it. But this was them having a conversation with me about their experience in Harmony and how they've gotten what they needed out of it and why they decided to join. Like they found themselves in the situation you may be in where you're like, I want to join, but I'm kind of thinking about it, but I don't know. So listen to episodes 106 and 107. And also, if you go to the sales page, look at the description right here, harmonymembership.teachable.com/P/Harmony Hub. And yes, I know that's the longest link ever. Scroll down because episode 106, 107, but then there's also two other interviews there with actual Harmony members who are in Harmony who talk about their experience. One of them, and I'm going to totally forget who it was, but she came on the podcast and talked about her experience. Taylor, she took Anne Molesky's The Sequencing Solution, and she's also in Harmony. She talked about why she loves both, why she's in both, what she gets out of both. And so back to what I said at the very beginning is it's okay to be in more than one thing. It is. It's okay. Think about when you're in college. Like I keep going back to that because I'm getting my master's. I'm about to take 2 new classes. I need both of them. Like, I think there's going to be benefits from learning in both of them. I also need them to graduate. But you know what I'm saying? Think about that. Like, I'm always in different things to help me grow as a business owner, a leader, taking online courses to help me with that as well, leadership skills and things like that. So, listen to those podcast episodes. It'll help you. But when you're thinking about the press for time thing, you get out of Harmony what you need. Okay? One of our members, Justin, is the one that introduced the word toolkit to me. And he said it's like a tool, and he is still a Harmony member, but he is also a college band director now. So he is not active in the community anymore. But when he was in his elementary music teacher position, he told me Harmony is like a toolkit where he came into teaching elementary music from band. And so maybe that's the situation you're in. But he said when he logs in, it's what does he need? Sometimes he said he needs the lesson plans, or he will set aside time to really look through the lesson plan pack for the following month, go through it, decide what he needs from it, edit it as needed, look at the supplemental resources. Other times, he really needed that member call. He really needed to talk with other music teachers who got him. Yes, he could talk to the other teachers in his school. Yes, he could go into a Facebook group and post a question or a comment, but it's still not the same as seeing another teacher. And I know you're burnt out from being on Zoom calls. So I tell the members, show up in your pajamas, show up just laying in your bed. We don't care. It is a very I don't even look like this half the time. We're all very casual. It's like a family, and they call each other the Harmony fam because it's a family. Like I'm creating an environment. It's very positive. I don't allow negativity. It's a positive space to be yourself and to just feel like, okay, this is the place I can come in and rest and be me. So he presented it as a toolkit where he said he'll log in sometimes and decide what he needs then. And that's what it's like for you. So when you're thinking about, I'm already so pressed for time, well, Harmony is there for you when you need it. You don't have to log in every day. You don't even have to log in every week if you don't want to. But when you need whatever the thing is that you're needing, it's there for you. Okay? So I want to say that. You know what you need better than anyone. And then so the last thing I want to talk about is the money side of things. I started out by talking about this, like the different things I invest in financially and things like that. I also remember when I have shared my story 167 times now about starting at a school that hadn't had music for 7 years. And I knew I had no budget. PTA had no funds for me. I started applying for grants, but it took a while to, for them to come in and all the things. So I spent a lot of my own money, as you do, right? I bought a whole class set of recorders with my own money. I bought my own classroom decorations. I remember buying a whole set of rhythm sticks that I bought out of my own pocket. Then I paid for several one off workshops that I would go to in person to help me out. Money I did not really have. But then what the benefit of that was is after I got the training I needed or the instruments I needed, I was able to grow in my skills. I was able to use what I learned in my classroom. And then I ended up earning Teacher of the Year my second year teaching. When you're thinking about financially, I know a lot of you, I'm trying to say this in as understanding of a way as possible. I understand financial hardships. I understand money, paying for something else is difficult. It's hard to say, oh my gosh, like I don't have $25 a month. Harmony's 24 a month or 240 a year right now. The price will be going up soon. So this is the last time, by the way, to lock in at this price because this summer the price will be going up again. You're the only ones that know that. But anyways, I get it that thinking of paying for something else is a little bit overwhelming. But I want you to think about Katie Holbrook, my community manager, who's in this group. She has told me before that she goes, it's pretty much like paying someone to completely do all your lesson plans for you. And she says that to me all the time. She's like, she goes, I tell my friends that, I've told my mom that, her mom's a teacher. She said, it's like pretty much just paying someone to say, here's $24, do my lesson plans for the entire month. She said, that's exactly what it feels like. And so I want you to think about, though, I'm going to present this in two different ways. One is, think about what you're buying. Like, I know I love me some Starbucks, okay? And sometimes I have gift cards to spend, and sometimes I just use my own money. But when I added up one day how many Starbucks I had spent, even in like just 2 weeks, it was like, oh my gosh, that adds up, right? It's like 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks maybe for 4 cups of coffee. Maybe. They're usually around $3, $4. That, or just going through a drive-thru on the whim because you don't feel like cooking. None of this, there's nothing wrong with any of this. I do it all the time. Or an impulse buy, like a new shirt or whatever, right? You're buying things that you want sometimes. But when's the last time you've paid for something you need? And so that's what I want to get at is you might be able to still afford this if you think about where your money is going. But the other thing I want to say is talk to your administration. Okay? There have been so many teachers who have joined and told their principal about Harmony, and they're like, oh, we'll cover that expense for you. Sometimes I know having those conversations are hard, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to talk to them about it because what if they don't? What if they don't pay? And if they don't, let's have a conversation. Like I said yesterday, if you watched yesterday's Facebook Live, email me. We have partial scholarships available, and I would love to discuss with you about helping you get into the Harmony membership, okay? I'm all about serving teachers and helping you. We're all about giving back and helping teachers who are in need and helping, pay money to nonprofits. And that's what I want to tell you. All the membership money does not go to me. If you saw how much I make from this, I would have quit like 2 years ago, okay? I mean that 100%. It's not just me paying nonprofits. I have a lot of expenses to keep this going. I have a team member I pay. It's not all the money is not going to me. I 100% promise you that. And so when you're thinking about the money part, yes, I provide free value. I always will provide free value. But the difference in a membership site versus the free things that I provide is my membership site is where everything is, and I think I mentioned this the other day, but everything is kind of in a more put together in a more organized way where you know what's coming up. There's a calendar. You can get what you need out of it, and you know what's happening each week. It's very organized. So that, and it's community. It's community right there where a lot of teachers are sharing ideas. It's fun when they're like, oh, on Jessica's podcast episode, blah, blah, blah. And then they discuss it. Or in member calls, a lot of them are already starting to recognize each other's names and faces. Now, the member calls, a lot of times, sometimes we'll have weeks where there's a lot of teachers show up and other times where there's just 3 people. And so it just depends. And I get it, the busyness. But I'll always provide those. And so you can always even watch the replay if you can't make it live as well. So I think that's about it. Let me go through actually some other questions. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So back to the money thing real quick is when you're thinking about $24 a month, I know because I've looked at Teacher Pay Teacher resources. There are sometimes people who sell a one-off lesson plan or maybe a bundle of 3 lesson plans for that much. Or um, for coaching with me, it is usually $100 an hour. So you get inside the membership site, you get mentor calls where I'm showing up each month. That's included in your monthly price. The Facebook Lives I do in the member group, those are included as well. The Done For You lesson plans, it's not just a lesson plan. You also get supplemental resources. You get I can statements. You get planning resources. And all the resources as standalone products inside the membership site are probably each worth between $10 to $20 each. But for $24 a month, you get all of it. So it's worth way more than that. So that's the last thing I want to say about that. So let's move forward. And I'm going to answer a few commonly asked questions, even ones I've gotten from members who've joined just in the last couple of days. After you join, you're going to start in the Start Here section, and then you're going to see it kind of gives you a roadmap of what to follow. On Thursday, every month at the beginning of the month, I do a members only Facebook Live about mindset. We work through some mindset stuff. I talk about our theme of the month, and also I answer member questions. And so after you join, you will see the event in the Facebook group. You can join us in our members only Facebook group. And then Friday, we have a call with Katie Holbrook, my community manager, where she is going to host a call for our new members too to answer questions. What do you get each month? I kind of gone through all of that. So I'm going to let you look at the page to get that and look at the past 2 Facebook Lives about what you get every month in Harmony. If you have questions and you feel stuck, I'm always here to support you through email. You can click on an Ask Jess button, and send me a little voice message. Oh, and also when I talked about your administrator talk to them about paying for your membership, I also take purchase orders. So that is something as well that I have several teachers in right now with purchase orders. So make sure you ask me about that as well. I'm looking through these questions. I think I've already answered a lot of these. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go because this has gone longer than I wanted, but I'm an open book. I'm here to answer any questions you have, and you guys have an amazing day and have a great day back to school. As a reminder, the doors to Harmony close tomorrow, January 4th at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and all the other time zones off the top of my head, I don't remember them. So, all the people in here who have already, teachers in here who have joined us this week already, I'm so excited to get to know you better. I'm looking forward to meeting with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you at our first Facebook Live and our first monthly member call for January. I will be sending out an email to help you set up an accountability group or to get a mentor if you would like one. So be on the lookout for that, new members. And if you have not joined us yet, we would love to have you. I am so excited about this school year, the rest of the school year, and to support you however I can.